Remember that house that just blew up in Arlington? Well, things are not exactly as they seem. Let's go step by step. The house is owned by a man named James Wu. Where was James Wu's house? 844 N. Burlington Street, Arlington, Virginia. Who is James Wu's father? James Wu's father, Ki Hong Yu, American University, CIA cutout, wrote plan to retake North Korea with bioagents for President of South Korea in this picture. Who is James Wu's mother? James Wu's mother, Ahn Shin-yu, U.S. State Department/CIA, Voice of America lead broadcaster for South Korean division of U.S. propaganda mouthpiece Voice of America. Who was James Wu? James Wu had a long career, but his most notable job was a head of global information and physical security at Global Crossing. What was Global Crossing? It was espionage central and an international spying apparatus that is still in operation today. Who founded Global Crossing? Gary Winnick founded the company in 1997. Is Gary Winnick still alive? Gary Winnick died on November 4, exactly 1 month before James Wu's house exploded. Who sat on the board of Global Crossing? Members of the board include Secretary of Defense William Cohen, CEO of J.P. Morgan Private Bank Elena Lagomazzino, and Assistant Secretary of Defense Richard Pearl. Elena was also Gary Winnick's personal banker. What business was Global Crossing involved in? Global Crossing managed intercontinental fiber optic lines. Global Crossing was a front company and a global spy network that focused on tapping intercontinental fiber optic lines and intercepting communications both domestic and international between the US, Western Europe, Japan, and Singapore. In 2003, James Wu facilitated the transfer of ownership of a massive global wiretapping operation. Eric Holder, who 5 years later would go on to become Attorney General picked by Obama, was key to this deal, and he made millions of dollars doing it. Global Crossing Limited, Bermuda, owner of the Atlantic Crossing, AC-1, submarine fiber optic cable system now under construction, plans to add 3 new undersea cables connecting the United States with the Caribbean, Panama, and Japan. Global Crossing recently announced plans to build the Mid-Atlantic Crossing, an undersea fiber optic cable that will connect with AC-1. Service on AC-1, which spans more than 14,000 kilometers and connects the United States, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Germany, is scheduled to begin in May 1998. The system will be built in a self-healing ring configuration and use wavelength division multiplexing, WDM, technology. See Lightwave, June 1997, page 7. Pan American Crossing. Global Crossing has also announced plans to build a private, 8,000 kilometers undersea fiber optic network connecting California and Panama. The Pan American Crossing, PAC-1, will have landing stations in Mexico and other points in Central America. The cable, which will contain 80 dispersion-shifted fiber strands, is scheduled for full commercial service in 1999. It is expected to use WDM technology and include a dedicated pair of fiber optic cables running between the United States and Panama. PAC-1 will create the first direct path from Latin America to the United States and Asia without additional transit fees, according to the company. Currently, traffic from Latin America must cross the United States through terrestrial networks before connecting with fiber optic cables going to the Pacific Rim. Carriers sending traffic must pay a transit fee for the connection. Global Crossing's fourth undersea fiber optic system, Pacific Crossing, PC-1, will connect the United States with Japan. The privately owned and operated system will also be built with a self-healing ring configuration that uses WDM technology. It will have 2 landing points in both countries, and is scheduled for commercial service in 1999. Marubeni, a Japanese trading firm and partner in the fiber optic link around the globe, FLAG, undersea cable, is also involved in the project. The AC1 cable system was privately owned by Global Crossing. Following the acquisition of Global Crossing by Level 3 in 2011 and the acquisition of Level 3 by CenturyLink in 2017, the AC1 is now wholly owned by CenturyLink, as well as AC2/Yellow, Mid-Atlantic Crossing, MAC, Pan America Crossing, POC, South America Crossing, POC, etc. On September 14, 2020, CenturyLink, Inc. announced that it had changed its name to Lumen Technologies Incorporated. Effective with the opening of the trading day on Sept. 18, 2020, the company's stock ticker changed from CTL to LUMN. The CenturyLink brand will continue to be the customer-facing brand for traditional copper-based services. Fiber-based products and services will use the brand Quantum Fiber. The Kim Dae-jung administration built up countrywide high-speed ICT infrastructure and fostered IT and venture businesses as the future source of growth. In his inaugural address, he expressed a vision for South Korea to advance from the ranks of industrial societies, into the ranks of the knowledge and information-based societies where intangible knowledge and information will be the driving power for economic development. Today, South Korea is one of the most technologically developed countries in the world and has a well-connected cyber infrastructure which began to be built and fostered under President Kim. President Kim Dae-jung in South Korea, who served on the National Committee on Science and Technology before his election, approved $1.1 billion in funds for nanotechnology research. Once in the Blue House, he campaigned successfully to make his country a world leader in the application of IT and broadband communications, which it is today. 16. Kim Dae-jung's affection for TINE was manifested many times even after it was launched. At the European Parliament in 2001, the fourth summit of ASEM in Copenhagen, Denmark, in 2002 and on many other occasions, his convictions about cyber infrastructure became only stronger, more specific, and more realistic. As the first leader from Asia who gave a speech at the European Parliament, he described TINE as a cyber Silk Road realizing Eurasia. It's public knowledge that the CIA put Kim Dae-jung in place. What we're looking at is a hit. Murder. Assassination. A very public hit and the second to strike members of Global Crossing within a month. And it involves the highest levels of government and industry. Global Crossing's board had William Cohen, Secretary of Defense under Bill Clinton, Elena Lagamazina, CEO of JP Morgan, and Richard Perle, Assistant Secretary of Defense under Reagan. Richard Perle was also chairman of the DPB, Defense Policy Board, which directly advised Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld before and after September 11. So what does all this mean? It means the people responsible for building the cyber infrastructure in Iraq post-invasion, the infrastructure whose point was to provide the US intel community with total backdoor access into not just Iraq's digital communications, but all of Europe's, are now being killed off one by one.
Like, share and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to ring the notification bell. You can follow us on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Catch the live streams on Rumble. Listen to text-to-speech stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube.